Boatworks today is sponsored by Total Boat and Alexial Yacht Coatings, as well as supported by the generosity from the beautiful folks over on Patreon. Thank you so much. So, welcome back, everybody. Hope you are all having a fantastic weekend, and everyone stateside, hope you're having a awesome Independence Day. My name is Andy with Boatworks today, and in this video, well, I'm actually going to be doing my very last customer job, hopefully ever. Now, the past 2 or 3 years, I've only done one customer job per season, and to be honest, it was really a matter of convenience. This particular boat that we're looking at here, this was stored next door at my shop neighbor's place, throughout the winter, so it was close. It's typically a relatively quick turnaround, and to be quite honest, I have a little bit of a sentimental attachment to this boat because about 7 or 8 years ago, I originally painted this. So what we're looking at here is a 2001 Pilot 19. Now, unfortunately, there really just isn't a whole lot of information about this boat online, so I have no idea who the designer was or really the manufacturer, other than I'm presuming the manufacturer was Pilot. But beyond that, there really just isn't a whole lot of info. Now, baby girl here, she just came out of storage, and although it's already July, yeah, regardless, we gotta get her freshened up and make her look pretty for the rest of the season. Now, as part of this whole process, there's always, without fail, there's always a few paint touches along the hull that need to be done. Now, I'm presuming that it's just the way that the boat is docked throughout the summer, but it's always the same dings, the same scratches, in the same locations year after year. But first things first, before we do anything, we have to give this little sweetheart a really good washing, because as you can see, the side of this hull is just caked with dust and dirt and whatever. So we need to get all of that, washed off before we do anything. Because if we try and come over and do any kind of cleaning without doing a pre-rinse, well, the rag's going to pick up all that dust, and well, we're going to turn this entire hull into, well, not anything that I want to deal with. So whenever you're going to be doing any kind of a cleaning, the first thing you always do is you give the hull a really good rinse before you even take the rag and soap to it. So with the cleaning done, I'm pretty sure you have a pretty good grasp on how this is done. Let's move on to something a little bit more interesting. So for today, I'm going to be focusing on the worst of all the areas on the hull here, which in all honesty really isn't all that bad, but we got to make it look good, and well, only the best for baby girl. So this one particular spot, it's a little bit borderline whether or not I should actually fill it, or if I should take a stab at it and just kind of try and block it out. And well, I'm going to be perfectly honest, as I've mentioned in the past videos, we're still in the middle of moving in that whole transition period, so right now time is not on my side. So rather than fill it and lose a day waiting for material to cure, I'm going to try blocking this out. Now, as far as what grit paper I'm going to be using, I'm gonna try and use something a little bit aggressive, but actually in the grand scheme of things, still not very aggressive at all. So I'm gonna be doing all the blocking here using 400 grit, and then once the surface itself feels smooth, then I'm gonna switch over to 800 grit, expand the size of the sanding area so that I have a little bit of a tapered, well, it's not really a taper, but a little bit of a tapered area that I'll be able to do my blending in with the paint. So we've all heard that expression of happy accidents. Well, this is not one of those, not at all. After first coat, I had a fly. There's one thing about paint. Flies just can't resist it. Well, I had a fly basically do a suicide bomb in there, and well, crawled himself right off the edge, and well, there we go. We got a nice little dimple. So at this point, I really have two options. I can either, one, grab some thinner and just basically wipe off everything that I just sprayed and basically start over, or I can try and bury this, or at least lay up enough material where I'll be able to sand it back out flush, you know, towards the end of this process. And well, as you can see here, I'm gonna try and bury it. So in total, I sprayed 3 coats. Now, area-wise, each coat became larger and larger. And, well, you know, down where the bug kind of left his own little nifty artwork for me, well, I gave a little bit extra emphasis there, again, just to get a little bit extra build. So at this point, I've shown the repair start to finish on this aft port quarter here. And the other areas on the hull, I'm just going to do in the exact same manner. So there's really no point in showing that rinse and repeat. But if you'd like to know a little bit more info on using this little airbrush for doing these small little detail touch-ups, I will include a link to another video in the upper right-hand corner of this video, where really that's where I go into the deep dive on this whole process. So at least for right now, I'm going to call this hull finished. Now, in a few days after this paint has had a little bit more time to cure and set up, I may come back and give these touch-up areas a little bit more love with the buffer, just to give this paint a few more days to set up. I mean, because right now it's only been 24 hours. It's still very, very tender. And on that note, I'm going to wrap this video up because I have a truck showing up first thing in the morning to relocate my baby girl. So with that said, as always, I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please hit that thumbs up button. If you're not already subscribed, hit that subscribe button and the notification bell. Thank you in advance. I really appreciate that. If you have any questions, comments, leave those down below. I'll do my best to get back with you. And as always, thank you for your time. Thanks for watching. Have a safe 4th, and I'll see you next week.
This has been a Boatworks Today production.